mercenaries, really, that's the double M. Born baller, baby boy, I be above the rim.
What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
I could care less. It's like that every year. You know what I mean? Like, teams come out of nowhere all the time. Most of these GMs never play basketball. Let's be real. Who cares what they think? I could care less. Yeah, we believe in ourselves. You know, we're gonna play so hard every night, and that's gonna give us a chance to win every night. You know, so I could care less what the GM has to say.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim. Hoops talk.
Family, welcome back to another edition of Above the Rim, the only spot that gives you hoops talk for the streets. Brought to you as always, it's your host, Justin, aka Just Blaze. Family, you know the drill. To get in contact with me, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513, on IG at JustBlaze513, on Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast. Email the show as well, Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Tap in and leave the family a voicemail. Call the Talk About It line. It's always open, 908-718-1592. Brand new season, brand new things, same old family. Join me this week. The trifecta is in the building. The family is here to preview the 2021-2022 NBA season. First up, Remo, a.k.a. CEO Reem, a.k.a. Apologetic Reem, a.k.a. 3 to the Dome Reem, a.k.a. Lakers Reem in the building. What's good, my brother? How you living?
Yo, just.
I had to put a question mark on that because we going to talk about that.
We going to talk.
Yes, sir. Family, make sure you go follow him at Rich Threads on IG and at Let's Talk Hoops TV on Twitter. And also joining us back from his second sabbatical or third sabbatical. I don't know which one it is. Domo, a.k.a. Stretch, a.k.a. Brinks, a.k.a. T-Mac Main. My brother, what's good, my brother Domo? Great to have you back, fellas. Domo, what's good?
I'm always happy to be here, man. This is family right here.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Family, get your merch. Stock up on that. Keep supporting. I appreciate y'all. I see the orders. It's hoodie season. Stock up while you can. Great quality hoodies. No triple B's prices over here. Good quality. Make sure you stock up. Do all them good things. Support the family. I appreciate y'all as always. And before we start, man, shout out to the Phoenix Mercury and the Chicago Sky for making the WNBA Finals. Gonna be a hell of a matchup in the WNBA Finals. I'll be tuning in. I know the streets will be tuning in. Shout out to the ladies and the growing WNBA community. And you two fellas, y'all need to be watching that too, man. Because listen, it was a great semifinals, and the finals about to be live, fellas.
Phoenix Mercury got to do it for the Phoenix Suns, man.
They do.
They got to finish the job.
They do. So for this season preview, I wanted to start off, man. I want us, for each of us, to go over our top 8 teams, do our conference power rankings, and then we could discuss each team, their off season, what we feel about their moves, how we feel how good they are, or how bad they might be. So let's start off with our top 8, fellas. I'm going to start off with me. Reem, you going to go second. Damo, you going to go third for our top 8. Let's start off with the Eastern Conference from 8 through 1. Actually, let's do 1 through 8, right? My power rankings. Number 1, I'm going to go with the Nets. Number 2, the Miami Heat. Number 3, the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 4, Boston Celtics. Number 5, New York Knicks. Number 6, Philadelphia 76ers. Number 7, the Atlanta Hawks. And number 8, the Chicago Bulls. But I think it's all going to be tight. Remo, talk to me. What's your top 8?
Going Nets, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sixers, 3. Miami, 4. Atlanta. The Bulls, 7. We going Boston. And 8, rounding out 8, we going the Knicks.
Domo, give me your top 8 in the East.
Interesting. It's a trifecta for the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
I got number 2, I got Milwaukee. Number 3, got the ATL. Shout it. Got the ATL. Number 4, I got Miami. 5, I got Boston. 6, I got Chicago. 7, I got Philly. 8, I got New York.
Okay, so I already have a lot of discrepancies in this top 8. So, number 1, let's get this out the way. We all got the Nets, right? We think they're the best team in the East no matter what.
Even without Kyrie.
Best team in the East no matter what. It should be the regular season. Even if they have a couple of injuries, I still think they're going to end the season off as the number 1 seed, right? Boom. Now, number 2. I differ from both of you guys. Both of you guys got Milwaukee. I got the Miami Heat. So, let me start off. Let me tell you why. I don't know if y'all sleeping on the Heat, but I think
I'm not sleeping on
I think the streets is low-key sleeping on the Heat because I really like what they did this summer. And I love the additions of Kyle Lowry. Even though I wasn't the biggest Kyle Lowry fan on this team, Kyle Lowry fits perfectly. I think he fits right in with the grit and grind for the Miami Heat. Coach Spo, I got as a top 2 coach, top 3 in the NBA. I think the Heat are exceptional. They kept Hero, they kept Duncan, they still got Oladipo. I think for the minimum. I think he's going to round out in his shape. I think he's going to be back somewhere around Christmas or something like that, a little bit after. But I think this Heat team has everything that you need to contend for a title, and I think they are better than the Bucks. Even though you guys have the Bucks as the number 2 seed, I have the Bucks taking a slight step back this season. I got the Heat as number 2. So, Domo, I'm gonna talk to you. You don't think the Heat are good enough to be the number 2 seed? You have the Heat as number 4. You still got them as top 4.
Yeah, I got them as the 4th seed. I mean, I like them. I think they're one of the better, well-balanced teams in the league. But I think, even though I feel like PJ Tucker leaving Milwaukee is going to get them a slight drop-off, I think they're still going to be, they're going to have that sense of pride of, that championship pride, and they're still going to be riding off of that.
You think that roster is made up of championship prideful players, even though they won a championship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. They still do you think they're still going to be as hungry as
And I think they know now that I think Middleton has more confidence now to be that guy down the stretch when Giannis is not.
I agree there. I think Middleton is going to become a better player this season because of his playoff success. So I agree there. So Reem, you had the Bucks number 2. Yeah, you had the Bucks number 2 also. So you still think the Bucks are a step ahead of the Heat? You think I'm wilding?
I don't think you wilding, but I think what PJ Tucker did leave with Giannis was some dog. He kind of instilled that animal in him to be unleashed. And I think with PJ Tucker leaving, you do lose some defense, but I think the way Bobby Portis played last year, because he kind of fell into the lineup later on in the season. So I think he's more established this year.
Bobby Portis?
Yeah, Bobby Portis. So I think he's going to play a bigger role. And he's a little bit more offensive than what PJ was.
Yeah.
He is as girthy, pause.
But he's a big body in the paint.
Yeah.
He's a rough rider, whatever you want to call him.
So I don't see where the dramatic fall off was. And then with Giannis winning and getting that ring in the beginning of the season, mentally.
I don't think PJ Tucker was an important piece. I really think he was
I think he's very important. But
I think where he be mentally saying you know what, I did it the rough way.
He turned that franchise into some rough riders. He gave them that rough rider mentality.
That's why I think they're gonna be missing that.
But think about it too. Miami, Chubbs is old.
He is.
He goes down. Who's his backup? None is gone. Dragic is gone.
Yeah, but Hero still plays some backup point guard. He was playing point guard last year. He could play some
Hero.
He could play some backup. PG.
I know he can play, but
compared to what Chubbs does,
right.
Well, I mean, Chubbs is he can actually play a good amount. He could play 30 to 35 minutes a night.
I'm just saying, if he's not healthy and he happens to miss games, I think that's going to hurt them.
Well, they do have to have get a better backup point guard as well. I do agree because losing Dragic, I think, will be a slight problem if they do encounter some injuries because they are slim in that backcourt bench production.
And
they lost none too. So I do agree they are gonna have a little bit of a drop off when Kyle Lowry goes to the bench. But Tucker, Morris, Still got my boy Dwayne Dedman over there.
Like I said,
they got some rough riders.
They're a well-balanced team.
I still think they may need one more scorer, but it depends if Oladipo comes back and he's Oladipo, and then we'll see.
Depends on him as well.
Yeah. So also for the top 4, we differed a little bit, and Damo had the Hawks. I have the Celtics. Reem had the Heat as well. You had also in your top 4. So you're kind of in line with Heat being a top tier or a upper echelon team as a top 4. Home court advantage, top team. So, Damo, me and you will discuss it. The Hawks and the Celtics. Tell me why you got the Hawks in the top 4.
Yo, the Hawks, man.
You like the Hawks?
Yo, you know what, Just? I got to give you kudos, man. Because you know who I'm high on right now? The area.
Stop playing with me.
The area assault, man.
My man Clint.
That team is top heavy.
Listen,
they got a bench. Like I'm feeling what they got over there. Nate McMillan at the helm. You got DeAndre Hunter that's gonna bounce back from that injury. Because remember, before he went down with the injury, that dude was doing his thing.
Yeah, he played well.
He was a key part to that team.
I'm feeling Cam Reddish.
I like him.
Cam Reddish, John Collins.
Listen, that team got some pieces. I ain't gonna lie.
And
John Collins been putting people in the trunk in preseason.
Low key, they got Delon Wright. That dude,
he
is
from the Mavs
piece.
Too, right?
He was from the Mavs, but he went to Sacramento.
Yeah,
and they got him from Sacramento. That dude is a key piece. So they got the defense on lock, and they got plenty of offensive firepower.
They do. One thing I would say, right? I think because of last year's success, I think Trae Young will be a lot better this season. One of my clips that I talked about in a previous episode, I think Trae Young is probably going to be a top 5 scorer in the league. That's one of my predictions for him. I think he's going to, even though, I don't know if you fellas noticed, the rule change that's going on where you can't jump into a defender. So they took that away, which I think might hurt Trae's points a little bit because he does do that from time to time, especially when he does that little heel bump, you know, he does that little booty bump or somebody's behind him. But I think with the confidence that he gained last season from the postseason, I think he really learned where he can be effective on the floor, and he really learned that it's pretty hard to stop him. I don't think there's a player that can really keep up with his quickness and his range at the same time.
Once you get that confidence in the Garden, it's pretty much a wrap after that.
Once you can shimmy in the Garden.
Shimmy. The Garden was hating Trae Young that day. They have videos for Trae Young, mad at Trae Young.
What I could say is, with the addition of Reddish, it's helpful to give him a lot more space. So when you add what Trae Young could be with other players with space, makes him so much more dangerous.
I think the Hawks are bad. Shout out to you for Damo for giving my man Ariel Clint Capella some credit. He matches.
I'm on board now.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm on board now.
Just to let you know, CP3 made him high, but ain't harder to.
I do have them the fringe. I had them at the 5th.
You had them at the 5th?
I had them at the 5th.
The Hawks?
Slot. Yes.
I have the Hawks at the 7th seed. Now I feel like I'm being a little disrespectful.
Bit low.
But that's only because I think the East got a lot better. And I think we're going to get into that. So you had the Hawks as the top 4 seed. I have the Celtics as the top 4 seed. So let's talk about them. The Celtics, I think, are one of the most underrated teams going into the season. Now, I've been on record talking about how much I like the Celtics going into the season. I've been on record talking about from last year and this year about how I got Jason Tatum winning the MVP. I got him as the MVP candidate. I think the Celtics are going to be a much better team this year with Brad Stevens out of the helm because...
Emi Udoka.
Yeah, because... And listen, my boy right there, he gonna be all right because they need another guy in the they needed a new voice in the locker room, number one. Brad Stevens, listen, Brad Stevens great with X's and O's, but with players, with being a leader of men, he ain't it. So he can go in that booth, in that press box and start making them GM moves. The Celtics coming into the season, Tatum is healthy. Jaylen Brown is becoming healthy. I think he has something up with his leg, but he's still been playing, so he's been okay. I think the additions of Al Horford. Now, I was never a big Al Horford fan before, but
they needed some big bodies.
But in this lineup, he's a veteran presence to go behind Robert Williams, and they re-signed
Time Lord.
and they re-signed Enes Kanter, who I think will provide some necessary offenses, and is also a double-double machine off the bench.
And they got Josh Richardson.
Low-key, Dennis Schroeder, they got on the cheap. I think he's going to provide a lot that what Campbell Walker was providing for this lineup. He can still get you 15 to 20 a night. I think the Celtics are going to be better than a lot of people expected, and I think all of it and a lot of it is predicated on how good Jason Tatum is going to be, and I think he's going to be exceptional this season. Fellas, so Reem, talk to me. How you feeling about the Celtics? You okay on them or not too...
No. I'm not on your wave.
You don't have them too high.
I have them at the 7th seed. And the reason I have them at the 7th seed, I believe that they have tried their hand to failure. They've had all of these picks. They've had all of these years where they could have made a big splash, and they didn't do the most. What I believe is they will have to make a decision where you're going to have to choose. Is it going to be Tatum or is it going to be Brown?
Why do I have to choose?
The reason I'm saying that because they're in similar size. You can move one of those
166, 168.
You can get an actual 3 or actual 4, which they're missing. They don't have. They're both tweeners that interchange, right? What they did have was all of these picks that they didn't utilize. Now Brad Stevens, I know you said what you said about Brad Stevens, but he was doing the most with the least, right?
He was. He's a coach that does more with less,
right?
Yes.
So now you lose Kimba, big name. You lost.
You don't think Schroeder's an adequate replacement?
No, Schroeder's looking for a bag, so he might play himself out of a bag.
Out?
We'll talk about that later. But you do have.
You're not feeling these Celtics.
I think they just messed up with the whole. They had bad karma after IT.
But you think that still has anything to do with this team coming in?
I just think that what they did have that they was going for them, they paid Smart to do what?
Well, he's a defensive anchor.
But you paid him like a star.
Okay, boom. So I'm going to ask you this, right? I'm going to go this direction. Y'all tell me yes or no. A lot of people gave me heat for this, right? So when I put out my top 10 rankings going into the season, I had Jason Tatum as a top 10 player coming into the NBA this season because I think he's going to play as a top 10 player. Am I crazy? You don't think he's good enough to be a top 10 player and vault his team into...
All right. I'll take this one first.
Top 10.
I apologize.
Top 10, I got it.
Right? I have Tatum as a top 6 talent.
Top 6?
Top 6 talent. From where he can be.
Okay.
Right? But in that organization alone, you have Brown and Tatum that think they can both take the last shot. Is why I said they have.
I think Brown knows though. You don't think?
No. Because at one point they would have to decide.
So you feel like it's either one of them has to go.
You can get rid of one and get more in return. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if you can though.
Brown is a talent.
So the same way, not to compare them, but the same way Jordan and Pippen worked in that 2-3 role, they're 3-4, but they're still kind of wings because in this hybrid kind of lineup, Jason Tatum is a 4 in this day and age, but he's really a 3.
Perfect example. But Pippen knew to defer to Mike.
You don't think Brown knows to defer?
No.
I feel like he does. I feel like Tatum has done it enough already.
No. But what I'm saying is, as the man of the franchise, you know the ball is coming to you. They take it on. Who's hot? Who's hotter? It shouldn't go like that.
So you think that there should be a definitive number one option?
Number
Jason
one,
Tatum, and
if there's a conflict of interest at this point in time, get what you can get the most of while he's hot.
Jaylen Brown for CJ McCollum?
Nah,
I think the Celtics lose that trade. So let's move on, fellas. Number 5. Let's talk about the New York Knicks, man. I got Domo already laughing. I got the Knicks at number 5. Domo has the Knicks at number 8. He got them just making the playoffs, and Remo has the Knicks same at 8th place. So Domo, you talk to me. Why you don't think the Knicks are gonna be? Why do you think the Knicks will take a step back as they did last season? Because last season, they were number 4.
They was number 4.
Do you think they're gonna be number 8? I think they're still gonna be all right. But you talk to me. I'll go after you. Tell me what.
I just think the Knicks caught everybody by surprise last season.
Really?
You know, like nobody was expecting the Knicks to make the playoffs, let alone be as good as they were.
Well, expected, no. I thought they would try to make the playoffs.
Well, maybe you were. I wasn't
contend.
expecting the Knicks at all to be in the playoff mix. I thought they was going to be lottery again.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you for thinking that.
You know, I was kind of proud of that they made some noise and they were the way they were. But now
hard.
the league is on notice. And Atlanta exposed them. So this season, if Randall and Barrett didn't you know, get better at their game.
So you don't think they got better? Randall was in the gym with Brickley once again.
Listen.
RJ Barrett said he's been working hard this summer. The preseason, he's looked good.
Holla at me after the first 10 games, man. Let me see what they looking like. All that is cute. Listen, I learned my lesson watching Ben Simmons. All that stuff is cute until the regular season starts. So, listen, I'll get in respect. I still think they're a playoff team. I still think they can make the playoffs.
You don't think Campbell
I just
Walker
don't think
makes
they're
that
top
much of a
tier.
difference?
Campbell Walker, I think his best days are behind him.
Yo, what's up with the Kemba?
I think his best days are behind him, man. I think Charlotte. I think he gave his all for Charlotte, and
That was like 3 years ago.
I think he gave his best legs for Charlotte. He's older now, though.
He's like 31.
That's old for a New York guard, because you know we ball.
Any little.
We do, but
We
D
ball.
Rose is
So
damn near the same age.
them
A little bit.
legs is
D
not
Rose
the
is probably
same.
1 year younger.
But D Rose is an elite talent that was an MVP. It's different.
Hold on. Whoa,
different.
listen.
It's different.
I'm not here for the Kemba disrespect right here.
Nobody's disrespecting.
You acting like D Rose is way better than Campbell Walker or something now.
Who would you sign first?
If those two right now,
Yeah.
Campbell Walker.
All right.
Wow. The disrespect. So Reem, do you think the Knicks are a
I got the
Derrick Rose
They
average
get worse.
Derrick Rose average what, like 18?
He averaged like 18 last year.
I have them
between
at
16 and 18.
I have them at a fringe 8.
Yeah, because
fringe 8.
to be honest,
Wow.
there's two other teams that could take that spot.
It's
Legitimately could take that spot.
I agree, but I think the Knicks are gonna play harder.
I gave them the 8th spot out of respect.
Hold on. Let me go on record with you.
Yo, I just want to let you know.
You my man.
Dama, your pops are gonna be real tight at you.
I know
right?
he is.
I know he is.
I'm about to go check him
talking
after this
shit about his
episode,
Knicks
too.
right now.
I'm gonna keep it so
You
real.
don't think they got better?
I think D Rose might outplay Kimba for that starting spot by midseason.
God.
I think he didn't get over that
Tibbs you
injury
talking
hump,
about.
man.
Campbell Walker?
Yeah. That's what I think that's holding him back.
I can't wait. Family, listen.
I hope not. I hope I'm wrong.
For Campbell Walker to prove both these fellas wrong, and you know I'm gonna be.
And
here
you know that
talking
always
shit, 'cause they was hating.
happens. So listen, he probably is gonna have a good season.
Yeah,
now
every
that we
time you
talking
talk shit
every
about a
time I
Knicks
talk-
player, they start
Exactly.
playing good. I noticed that, Damo.
Exactly.
You're right about
so
that.
he might have a good
Damn.
season.
Wow, I can't believe
he
this.
should be happy that I'm talking about him like this.
Okay, so let's move on. Wow, I'm really disappointed y'all ain't up Knicks. Listen, I'm a fan of the Knicks. I think they're gonna be all right this year.
I wish him well.
The Garden gonna be rocking. Listen,
I wish him well.
God bless.
Reem, you was a closet Knicks fan before. I guess you took that shit
It's
away.
over.
Man. It's
It's
over.
over.
Once Melo gone, it don't matter no more. This guy.
The bridge is over.
That's crazy.
Let's talk about the 76ers. I think we're in unison in here that they're going to take a step back this season. I have them as, they're 6th in my power rankings. Damo, the 76ers are 7th in
Don't
yours.
speak for me.
Reem, you got them high. So Reem, talk to me. Why you got them so high
that's
still?
interesting.
Talk to me.
I
Tell me
gotta hear
why.
this one.
Listen, eventually they'll figure out somebody to move Ben Simmons for that can shoot. You bring anybody on that team that is willing to shoot the ball.
I think they're going to get somebody.
You have whether he was healthy or not, MVP candidate of that team. You do have shooting around. You do have a Jace elite head coach,
Doc Rivers. Tyler Lue over there. They got a lead coaching staff.
I'm gonna give them their respect from last year because they did have, prior to injury, Ben Simmons Embiid was in the MVP.
Oh, he played phenomenal last year. He played exceptional.
So if you given him his space that he requested, which was Ben was the issue in his mind.
If Ben leaves, he does have his space.
If Ben dunks the ball, it's a different series.
Stop being shook.
Get him out of here. Give me 3 serviceables. Give me CJ or somebody.
So I'm gonna throw this out there at y'all fellas, right? Because me and Domo think they're taking a step back. Reem thinks they're still gonna be in the top upper echelon of teams in the East. So let's say, for instance, right? Because the 76ers, I feel like, are the biggest question mark of the East. I feel like if they make this trade sooner rather than later, then they could turn the whole East upside down and all the positions have to shift if they get a good enough package, right? Now, if the package, let's say, is with a team like one of Damo's teams, the Indiana Pacers, that they have been talking to, right? I saw a lot of reports on maybe Brogdon and TJ Warren. Some were maybe Brogdon and Karis LeVert, which I think is crazy, or Brogdon and Miles Turner, right? So let's say...
Just the fact that they get Brogdon will make them good.
That's what I'm about to say. If the 76ers get Brogdon and, let's say, TJ Warren, right? Not Karis LeVert. Let's say they get Brogdon and TJ Warren for Ben Simmons. Are the 76ers
Top 4.
Reem to you top 4?
Top
Are they...
4.
So you think
Because TJ Warren ain't no slouch.
He's no TJ Warren in
He
the
can
bubble.
shoot
Remember,
over
Bubble
50.
Warren was
Yeah,
averaging 40 or something like that.
Over 50% too, I believe.
Yeah. So you would have Embiid, Harris, Warren, Seth Curry,
And Brogdon. And Brogdon shoots a good percentage as well.
Brogdon
He's
is
efficient.
low-key all right.
He's efficient. He's
not
an
even
efficient
low-key.
player.
Brogdon is 50, 40, 90 or
Yeah,
some shit
he
like
is.
that at the free throw line.
He was. He wanted the seats.
But
Seasons he was.
imagine you would put Warren as your 6th man now.
I would start
That's
him.
crazy.
I Start him right next to
I wouldn't even
Tobias.
start him. I would give me that energy off the bench
No,
to
I
keep
can
it
see
going.
Yeah, I can see it.
To
That would
keep
be
it
good.
going.
They
So,
do that.
They would leapfrog.
They were top 3.
They would leapfrog my eyes the Bucks if they did
Yeah.
that.
If they got Brogdon.
If they got Brogdon and Warren.
I wouldn't be mad at you.
Because
I
then
would
they still got Bummin coming off the bench.
They still
Drummond
got
was all right. A low-key signing for them, but he was all right.
low key. They still got the other Curry.
Steph
Curry hybrid.
Yeah, he's an excellent role player. He's an excellent piece.
He knocks down shots.
Better.
He can play a little bit of 1, a little bit of 2.
So
like
I do like the 76ers. Now, there's such a wild card in the East because whatever they do with Ben Simmons does not dictate the East, but it does shift the balance of power a little bit in the East depending on who they get.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I got them at 7th based off of what's going on right now.
me too. I got them at 6 based on what's going on right now, but I do think they're gonna make a trade within the first month. I would say. I would hope they will make a trade within the first month. So let's talk about another East team that we are all similar but kind of different. So let's talk about the Chicago Bulls,
Yeah.
who made the splashiest move of the offseason. I really like the Bulls. I have them as 8th in my power rankings in the East, but I'm mad that I got them at 8th because I really want to put them higher. But I do think those other teams, I've seen them play before, so it's a little bit of continuity with the other teams. So I got them as the Chicago Bulls at the 8th in my power rankings in the East. Domo has the Bulls as number 6 in his power rankings in the East, and Remo has the Bulls as 6 also in the East. So it looks like all of us kind of like the Bulls, but we're a little bit hesitant to put them
in that
in the
top tier
upper echelon.
where we expect them to be
We expect
on
them to
paper.
be. So let's talk about how the Bulls are fitting this season. Me first, I'm gonna start off. I love what the Bulls is this season. I've been on record of saying I bang with Lonzo Ball. It's all big ball away here on Above the Rim podcast. I bang with Lonzo Ball. I think he's gonna unlock this Chicago Bulls team. DeMar DeRozan, I've always been a fan of his too as well. I think he's one of the best mid-range players in the game. Can get you 20 in his sleep. Can get you an efficient 20 in his sleep if he plays to his strengths. He's a smart player. He takes good shots. Zach LaVine, one of the best offensive players in the league. Vooch, you got in there as a low-key. A lot of people sleep on Vooch like he doesn't put in work, but that's a 20 and 10 double machine. Low-key, Patrick Williams as well. He's an exceptional young piece. He plays well. Kobe White coming off the bench. Alex Caruso coming off the bench.
White Mamba.
Yeah, the White Mamba. They are gonna be an electric team to watch this season. I have them as 8th in the East, but I can see them being at low-key anywhere from 4 to 8. I really like the Bulls and how they are rocking. Damo, talk to me on what you think about the Bulls this season and what you think about the summer additions and how you see them rocking out this season. Because you got them as a top 6, but I feel like you want to put them higher. I feel like all of us want to put them higher, but we a little scared.
Listen.
We a little shook.
On paper, I believe they have top 4 talent in the East.
Preseason, they look good too.
Preseason, they looking great. But here is the reason. I'm gonna get into the reason why. I think they got an Achilles heel on that team. So I think they're gonna. I think they will be the most exciting team to watch, no doubt, this season. But when it comes to the playoffs and making noise, Billy Donovan will be their downfall. And here's why: it's the same recipe with this guy in terms of late game situations. From the time he was at OKC till now in Chicago, his teams is always gonna run a my turn, your turn kind of offense. Like that kind of mentality for scoring. That makes them sort of predictable and easy to defend. Or even make adjustments at that. So it's easy to defend. In other words, his lack of on-the-fly adjustments will keep Chicago from excelling.
Well, he messed up last year with the OKC Thunder with his on-the-fly adjustments. I mean, not say last year, excuse me.
His last season.
Prior, in the bubble. His last playoff season, yeah. I was disappointed in B. Donovan.
It's the same thing. It's just ISO ball all the time.
He's better with younger players, but I am a little bit worried about him, but I actually think he will be okay.
And Levine and DeMar DeRozan can go and get you those buckets. But then the thing with them is whoever is hot, I think he's going to keep feeding them. And while he's going to keep feeding them, and the other players on the team is going to be cold. They're not going to be feeling the rock. And that's what's going to hurt them.
So are their defense good enough to be an upper echelon team, the Chicago Bulls? Reem, talk to me. Are the Chicago Bulls defense good enough?
Oh, man. It's my turn? I'm liking everything they did. Caruso is a 90 feet defender. From the inbound, he's going to check you. He don't mind. And the fact that he'll have that energy coming off the bench. You have Lonzo, another defender. He's not a big guy, but he has long arms and he's willing to defend. You do have three former All-Stars, the 3 potential All-Stars, and a possible in Lonzo. I'm not worried about the late game adjustments because Lonzo is a pure point guard where the ball doesn't have to stick.
He's going to unlock that.
But
knows,
that's what I'm saying, though.
He'll know where...
Billy Donovan is going to throw the ball in the hands of Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan, whoever's hot that game.
What I'm saying is when you have all-stars and all-star potential players, it doesn't rely to the coaches at the end of the game. It relies to the talent.
Do it really? Because remember when he was in OKC, you had Westbrook and Kevin Durant. What do you do?
Westbrook is not a high IQ player.
Well, you would hope that Lonzo would control the offense and use his IQ to his advantage and actually know who's the hot hand to give it. Because it may be Vooch,
he's not the right coach for that team.
It may be DeRozan.
You know where the advantage does come into this in my play? Is DeRozan in his last few seasons with Pop. Knowing what's winning basketball versus personal basketball.
But they wasn't winning.
No. But they were
in playoff contention, though.
Exactly, for a team that you never chose prior to the season starting to be anywhere in the mix. They were always in the mix. DeRozan learned how to play actual team basketball in his stint in San Antonio. So now you put him in a position where you have a pure point guard and he's hungry.
So I think when I look at this team, right, I think either LaVine or DeRozan has to take a slight step back in scoring opportunities in order for them to prosper. So I think LaVine, he took he took a good amount of ISO baskets last year. He actually needed to. I mean, it was necessary. DeRozan took a lot of ISO mid-range isolation baskets, which he also needed to, and he was also effective at it. But I think both of those guys need to take a mental note that they have to give it to Lonzo to create, not necessarily to create for them, but to get them easier shots in a way that they won't have to work as hard, in a way that it will keep them fresh for the end of the game so that they can take those end of the game shots and also on both ends of the floor, because I think LaVine learned a lot in his Olympic run that he had this summer and realizing that in order for the Bulls to take the next step, he can't just be a 25, 28 points per game scorer and, you know, taking plays off on defense. I think everybody on that team has to play better defense for the entire game. And I think having Lonzo there taking the ball out of their hands, I think will help them in a way that will be good for everybody on that team.
I think what makes this team special for me is because you're making Kobe White into what he is actually.
A 6-man?
A 6-man Jordan Clarkson.
I like him in that role.
Kind of a spark.
Yeah.
Because they were playing him at a 1/hybrid 2. I think he was overshooting last year. So now you line him up with a defensive minded Caruso. Which
I like that pairing too. Him and
where Caruso
nice
does run, but you know he will defer, which he did defer to LeBron and others, with knowing who's going to get him the buckets, but I'm still going to be me. He looks amazing in the preseason so far. And I like that synergy between those two.
I like it too. So, moving on, fellas, right? Rounding out the East. Give me, Dom, I'm going to start with you. Reem, I'm going to go with you after. Who is the best team, right, out of these 3 or 4 fringe East teams? The Pacers, the Hornets, the Wizards, and the Raptors. Give me your best team out of those 4, Damo. Who will be on the cusp?
For me, it's between Washington and Indiana.
Give me one. Who's a better team?
I'm gonna go Washington.
Wow. I think saying the Pacers.
Yeah,
this guy.
Even with the, because I like the coaching change. They got rid of what's his name?
Who's coaching the Pacers? Oh, Rick Carlisle right now.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle is there.
Yeah.
But I think the talent that they got back for Westbrook is gonna help them.
They're a little deeper.
Yeah, they deep. They deeper now. They got
They got Dinwiddie, Harrell, Kuzma, Dinwiddie, KCP.
They're deep. They got an actual team now.
Is Ish still on that team? I think he still is on that team. Ish Smith?
No, I think he went to Charlotte.
Ooh.
I think he's in Charlotte.
Ish went to Charlotte?
I think so.
I like Ish Smith.
Solid role player.
Yo,
I think he went to Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken.
Ish got some handles on the lowest occasion. They got Daniel Gafford too, who's now the center of their team, who's from the Chicago Bulls. I actually like the Wizards. I agree with you. I like the Wizards. I think they're
like I said, if it wasn't for me putting respect on the Knicks from last season, I would have Washington at the 8 spot.
You think they're better than the Knicks?
They could get them their run for their money. Because they got Bradley Beal. That dude is a guaranteed bucket. Knicks don't have a guaranteed bucket.
Kemba's not a...
This is not Charlotte Kemba, man. Those days are over.
My God,
I think those days are behind him, Just. And then, Indy I got that sore spot for Indy.
I know you do. That's why I'm shocked. I don't know why they're not 8th. I'm surprised you got
I'm surprised I didn't even put them in the playoff
Since you like
race.
Indy, right? If they do make the trade with the 76ers and they get Ben Simmons, are they a playoff team? Ben Simmons, Karis LeVert, Miles Turner, Sabonis.
Oh, that's a playoff team.
Somebody got to come out.
The Knicks? They out of there. The Knicks is out of there because Indiana got shooters. They could shoot. So you could surround that team around Ben Simmons. With the exception of Karis LeVert.
Turner? Sabonis and Turner are going to be there.
Gotta choose one of those.
They could both shoot, though.
But you gotta choose, though.
I mean, they're a big team, though. If they have Ben Simmons, Karis LeVert, probably maybe Justin.
Like defensive-wise, they could be on par with the Knicks.
I agree,
Miles Turner in the paint, and then you got Ben Simmons.
With Ben Simmons? Damn, with Ben Simmons.
That's a problem.
Damn, didn't I say the East is going to be wild, though?
The East is wild.
Hold on. Let's put this on. Is the East tougher than the West right now? This season?
Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to have to say, because I only had 9 teams that I was looking at.
The West, I'm not going to lie. When we get to the West, I had a little bit of an easier time doing the West side.
I did have a tough time I had to change it up a couple times in the East.
The Pacers, Hornets, and Wizards.
The East is bulky.
Hold on, before y'all go too far, I really do like the Hornets.
I like the Hornets.
I think they had
I like the Hornets
they had
as
like
well.
Gangsters
I think-
Paradise this summer and
I
like
like the
open
Hornets.
You know
runs.
what? And I wouldn't be surprised if they make the playoffs. I wouldn't.
I
But
would
they
not
were
be
in
surprised.
line to make the playoffs last year prior to
Yeah.
Ball hurting his wrist.
Yeah, I like the Hornets.
And I like
the Hornets.
him and Grandmama 2.0 like
Yeah, yeah.
over there like
Bridges.
Bridges like they have.
I like the Hornets.
It's like
bro.
They got a nice little
synergy.
squad.
my son, James Booknight from
Yeah, yeah.
UConn. My son,
Nah,
listen,
he's good. He's a
listen,
sleeper. That was a good pick.
The Hornets is I like the Hornets, so I would not be mad if they made the playoffs. I'll tell you that right now. We might have to pick between the Ball brothers because maybe the Bulls or the Hornets might have to be fighting for. Now listen, if we get a playing game with the
Between
Hornets
those?
versus the
Oh.
Bulls, I take that any day of the week.
That would be nice.
Any more thoughts on the East before we
It'd
move
probably
to the
be
West?
the Knicks though.
Oh my God, this guy down one. Yo, so your pop's gonna be mad at you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He's gonna be tight at you.
telling you, watch.
Any more quick thoughts about the East before we get to the West right now? We're about to get to the West. All right.
That's about it.
Let's go to the West, fellas. Let's go through our 1 through 8 power rankings. I'ma start off here for me. 1 through 8, Western Conference. Number 1, the Phoenix Suns. Number 2, the Los Angeles Lakers. Number 3, I got the Utah Jazz. Number 4, I got the Dallas Mavericks. Number 5, I got the Denver Nuggets. Number 6, I got the Warriors. Number 7, I got the Blazers. And number 8, I got the Clippers. Domo, give me your top 8 power rankings going in the West.
See, we was rocking together till we got to the 4th spot. That's when things get dicey.
Okay.
All right, so
Talk to me.
number 1, I got Phoenix. Number 2,
Wow.
I got the Lakers. Yeah, I'll put some respect on Phoenix. Number 3, I got Utah. Number 4, I got the Dubs.
Okay.
Got the Dubs at number 4. Number 5, I got Dallas. 6, I got Denver. 7, I got the Clips. And 8, I got the Memphis Boys.
I'm not mad at that. Remo, top 8, West. Give it to me.
All right, so I went with the Nuggets at 1.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Without Jamal Murray?
All right, no, whoa, we'll go back to that.
Okay, okay.
What? Okay.
I got the Jazz at 2. I got the Suns at 3.
Disrespect.
I got the Lakers at 4. Got the Mavs at 5. Warriors at 6. I think they're gonna stay afloat until they do get Clay back, and then they might
Take
leapfrog
off.
a few people. But I got the Trailblazers with a decent squad. Only topping the Clippers at 8, based that we have no Kawhi. But we gotta see what kind of PG we actually get this year. But I haven't penciled at the 8 right now.
Wow. Now, I like these lists because they were all differing a little bit. So, I already heard all of y'all sentiments. Now, let's talk about it. Remo, we got to start with you because I think you out of control right now. Why are the Nuggets number 1 on your Western Conference power rankings? Talk to me. Why? Why are you so high on the Nuggets?
I kind of like, well, they do have the current MVP of the league right now at 1, right? Jamal Murray, he'll eventually rejoin the group.
Yeah, I think he's going to come. I don't know if it was Christmas time or mid-season. One of them they were saying, but
I think it's mid-season. He still got a ways to go, I think.
and he's gonna have some rehabilitation time in there too.
But like he's eventually he'll be back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Are you saying at the end of the season they're gonna have the number 1 seed, or you think they're the best team coming into this?
I just think like you can't like
That's
look past them. Period. Like just me in general.
They got like they're
deep.
deep.
They got all
Another
the green. They got
well-balanced
every
team.
green in the NBA. All of them. They got Jermichael. They got,
They can sign Jeff
Jeff
Green
Green.
too.
Jeff
Right?
Green. They got everybody. They got every green.
You think they have enough defense?
They
to
still
be
got
number
Will Bynum coming back. And Will Bynum
Aaron
didn't
You
play.
mean
Gordon.
Will Barton?
Will Barton, sorry.
one? I mean, Will Barton.
And then they what's the dude from the Magics that ended up going over there? They still got
Aaron
him.
Gordon.
They got Ball playing now. Like, I like what they got going on. They have a lot of
They ain't even unleash him yet.
but they have a lot of untapped potential that they didn't really even like give an opportunity to. So now that I seen Ball playing in preseason, he's been effective defensive. He he can shoot.
Well, so
At
you
the
think,
5.
do you think Jokic is gonna be better this season? Since he was an MVP last year, do you think he's better this season? Or
He
you
doesn't
think it's-
have to be because his cast is better.
Okay, so that means, well, Aaron Gordon last year was a slight disappointment to me personally. I think a lot of people thought he was a disappointment. You think he's going to be better this season?
I
I
can't
think
call,
he's coming back better.
I can't call anybody a disappointment that hasn't had a training camp with somebody.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I like that because you do have to have a training camp. He came in mid-season, was a little bit,
He had to figure his spots out.
Even his teammates were talking about him like, yo, he's a different player this year.
Yeah, I do like the fit because him playing the 4 over there next to Jokic, I think is the best
Better
spot.
than Millsap.
Yeah, best spot for him. We know Michael Porter Jr. got paid, so they're expecting him to produce like a top 30 type of player. If he gotten paid, he's got that max deal now.
Look at it this far. How many alleys did you see Joker throw Gordon? And he's
a couple.
But he's a prime dunker.
He is, but
now imagine if you had the time in the offseason to set something like that up. And you know Joker's an amazing passer at the big spot.
He is. No, I'm not taking anything away from Joker. I think he's exceptional. I just don't think him himself is enough to put them as a top seed for me personally. So, but I'm not mad at you because I think the West is going to be stacked regardless. So, let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. I got them as number 1. Domo got them as number 1 in the West. Reem, I think, is disrespecting them a little bit, not putting them at number 1 because they did go to the finals. Not everybody. Reem is disrespecting my son CP3, and I think these boys are about to take it to another level. Listen to me, man. Everybody on this team got better, the Phoenix Suns. I know y'all talking about Chris Paul maybe a year older, but it don't matter. My son is the captain. I think he's better this year because he's got another year of telling these boys exactly what they need to do. I think Devin Booker is going to be better. He's got that confidence from an Olympic gold medal run. I think he's going to be better this year, showing the streets that he's more of a two-way player this season. I think he's going to take it personal that people are not considering him a good defender, that he's going to take it to the next level and really show the streets that he's a two-way player. I think Mikal Bridges is going to be a lot better. I think he's going to add another element to his game that he was already slightly had that drive and kick game, already averaging around 12 or 14 last year. But I think he's going to take a step up and really take a couple of shots off the dribble. I think Deandre Ayton is really going to come into his own this season and really establish himself as that second or third scorer of the Phoenix Suns. And I think he's going to average close to 20 this season because if you listen to Deandre Ayton and what he's been saying all this offseason, he said that he's the most wanted big man in the league coming into the season. He said he's the most wanted big man coming into this season. He said last year, I played well. I beat Anthony Davis in the series. I beat the MVP in the series. And they try to expose me, the Lakers series, by putting a Marcus Morris on me and thinking that the way they took Rudy Gobert out the series in the series prior against the Jazz, they tried to do that to the Suns and it didn't work. DeAndre Ayton, he said he didn't play his best in the finals.
He got poo-pooed on.
Giannis cooked him. I mean, let's be serious. Let's be real about it. Giannis put it on him.
Cut it out.
So he said coming into the season, he's the most wanted big man in the league. And coming into the season now, you notice he's in these contract extension talks. The Suns owner may not want to give him the full max. He said he's the most wanted. So I think he's going to be exceptional coming into this year. And I think this is a year for him to prove himself that he is one of the upper echelon big in this league. So I got the Suns at number 1. I think everybody's going to be better on that team. And I like the JaVale McGee pickup. I think he's going to be great for Chris Paul and the rest of the Suns. So Domo, talk to me.
I think that's the key pickup right there. Is
JaVale McGee?
Because
I like JaVale McGee.
That gives DeAndre Ayton the cushion
to poo-poo on himself.
I think he's gonna be better though.
He poo-pooed on himself in that finals.
He did.
Is it a poo-poo? It's the finals though.
He had dinosaur arms again.
Yeah, I know.
But I think that's the motivator right there. I think that's, he's gonna come back motivated, and we're gonna see a different DeAndre Ayton this year. And like I said before, the JaVale McGee pickup is gonna give him a little bit of a cushion. And I disagree with the Denver thing. I think they can lock up Denver. They got the recipe for Denver.
I think Phoenix is way better than Denver. So that was a sweep.
And you know what? I want to see more from Cam Johnson. I want to see him. I want to see a little bit more of him.
He's looked good. He's made a couple of plays off the dribble. He's looked like he got a little step back. I like Cam Johnson. He is the key.
What's the light skin brother?
Yeah.
I
He
like
alright.
young Afro.
So yeah, so like I said before, as long as CP3 is healthy, I think they can hold down that number 1 spot in the West.
I think the Suns are hungry. They're locked and loaded. So you don't think the Suns? You think they're gonna take a step back?
I don't think they're gonna take a step back. Remember, we do got 10 more games, and I just do think that the Nuggets getting back a lot of other talent on that roster that wasn't available on last year.
Real quick, right? I just want to ask y'all this because I don't know if y'all gonna be disrespectful of this or not, but y'all think the Suns' run was a fluke last year? Because I do want to let y'all know real quick on the season preview. I called the Suns going to the Western Conference Finals. They made it there. I didn't know they was gonna go to the finals, but I was like, shit, I was hyped. But I know y'all wasn't on board with me when I said that before. I'm gonna definitely say it again going into this season. But y'all think the run was a fluke or?
No, I'm not gonna say it was a fluke.
I just want to hear.
But
Injuries
did play a part though. They didn't play no team at their fullest
They weren't fully
capacity
healthy either, though. They weren't fully healthy either.
But listen, like I said, I'm not taking nothing from them. Like they earned it.
You still got to play the people in front of you. Is how I look at it.
They earned it. So I'm not taking. There's no asterisk next to the Suns for me.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. All right, next up, we got to talk about the big team in the league. We got to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers right now because this is the big team to talk about. I got them as the number 2 spot in the West. Domo got them as the number 2 spot. Remo got the Lakers in the 4th spot right now.
Which I could see though. I could see that.
I'm surprised, not that surprised. I'm only surprised because his son is on that spot. So I thought he was gonna be a homer. I said I started the episode off with a question mark. I said, AKA Lakers Reem, because we about to be disgusted with his Lakers talk this year. We're rooting for the Lakers this year. But right, let's talk about the Lakers, man. I'm trying to not sound disrespectful. I like the Lakers roster, but I don't think they're that much better than everybody in the West, like how these people are saying.
Yeah, I mean they could be beat.
They could be beaten in a series, not easily, but they can be beaten by an upper echelon team. They can be beaten in this series. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love Westbrook individually, love LeBron individually, love AD individually, love Melo individually. All 4 of them together, I'm not crazy about, but I can see how it can work, but I can also see how it can't work also. So I still got them as the number 2 team off of GP because I respect those brothers, but the fit, I think they're going to have some growing pains going into the season.
And they're not looking too good in the preseason. Like, I'm not impressed.
Well, they haven't played fully yet, and Russ, he had a lot of turnovers in this preseason. In the first game.
They already load managing in the preseason,
man. But
so,
well, Damo, when you heard Russ, because we didn't talk about your thoughts about how the Lakers loaded up. What do you think? Your boy is Russ. Your boy is KD. What do you think about Russ joining over LeBron and the Lakers? I don't like the side
size.
It's like if LeBron wasn't there, I would have been on board with it. I just can't see the fit. Right now, Westbrook is not shooting the best right now. If this is early in his career where he was okay, then I'd be like, all right, this is gonna be something special. But the last couple of years, his shot's been kind of.
Well, his 3-point shooting has been abysmal. I think it was under 30%.
So I gotta see. Get back to me after the first 10 games. Okay. I gotta see how it looks. I gotta see how it looks because and historically, when teams like this is put together, it never works. I mean, when teams like the 04 Lakers, the first season with Brooklyn, and the first year with the Heatles, it never works out. So out of respect. Like you said, I'm gonna give them number 2 seed.
Out of respect,
they should be, there. But I gotta see how that dynamic.
Can be beat, basically.
They can be beat. I gotta see that dynamic with Westbrook and how Westbrook and LeBron do on the floor together.
Now, me and you had the Lakers at number 2 off of GP. Reem didn't give a shit about GP. He put them at number 4. So why you got those boys at number 4? With your son on the squad. Melo, talk to me, Reem.
Listen, I get it that Melo's there. Like, this is his last hurrah. This is his last chance to really,
last year?
Is it though? I don't
I don't
think
know
so,
if
man.
It might be his
I
last
think
year.
it's Cap.
He said
Nah.
her last hurrahs and last team.
His last attempt at actually winning a trophy. All
I
right?
think Melo got a good 3 years left.
No, you bugging.
3?
Nah,
You tripping. You got a year and a half.
Yeah.
really?
Half.
Yeah,
How
this-
old is Melo?
It's me.
37.
It's me, Melo Reem. All right, but listen, hear
He
me
can't
out.
play till he's 40.
Nah.
Nah.
Hear
He
me
ain't
out.
CP.
Hear me out. Hear me out, bro. The issue with what lands the Lakers at in my category and where I have them from being 1, 2 is AD. He is the youngest. He should be projected as top 5 in the league, period.
It's crazy because I don't even have him as an MVP candidate.
But what I'm saying
I
is
don't either.
where he should be projected at versus where he is, he should be above LeBron right now.
Yeah,
And he's not there.
I agree.
He agreed to play the 5 spot and doesn't look like a 5 to me. He doesn't even look like a starting 5 physically to me.
But I don't like him at the 5 to begin with.
No, what I'm
he
saying
shouldn't
is,
be a 5.
Last year, that was their best lineup, quote unquote.
give me. Let's take a breath. Giannis at a 5 is more dynamic than what AD is as a 5.
You've
in
been
the
giving a
paint.
lot of respect for Giannis lately, man. This is turning the corner.
Because there's no fear in his heart.
Yeah.
When you see AD flaring and fading away, and you put on this muscle to do what?
That's a good point. I got you. I see where you're going with this.
If you're not running
You're
up
not
somebody's
using that big
chest,
body, you saying.
you put on 30 pounds of muscle to fade away. Is why you at a 3-4 rather than a 1 or 2.
I got you. That's a good point. I agree. I agree with that.
Simple.
I agree with that.
But with the pounds that AD put on this season, you think that's going to affect the Lakers season as a whole? Or
Remember what I said last year with them getting rid of JaVale and bringing in Mark. I said rim running was a very essential key. I said that here on your pod,
you did?
right? If AD is bringing in 20 to 30 more, he isn't able to be as mobile as he could be as a rim runner.
Yeah.
If Dwight at 30, whatever he is right now, can outrun AD, that's a problem.
Well, I do think the way they do have a lot of depth on the team, which I do like for this Lakers team. I love the depth on the team, but I feel like they have a bunch of parts that they really have to learn how to play together. Like, it's really not going to be easy for for everybody there to mesh with each other.
Let me say one more thing. Sorry, apologize. They made a mistake.
With what?
Taylor Horton Tucker
Not giving him minutes?
not keeping Caruso.
Oh, I agree there. I do like Caruso on that team. I do think they did make a mistake with letting him go, but they couldn't pay it. Well, they didn't want to pay
They could have chose one over the other.
They could have kept Horton Tucker. And
so you saying they should have let
should've
go of
kept-
Horton Tucker and kept Caruso?
He's not developed in what he got paid. The NBA is what you got paid for what your production is. You got paid $30 million versus Caruso.
the Lakers are going to be an interesting team to watch. So let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks, right? I got them as 4. Reem, where you got the Dallas Mavericks? You got the Mavs at 5. Domo got the
them at
Mavs
5.
at 5. So we're kind of in the same realm of 4-5-ish, so, which I think last year they were at the 5th seed. Do we think Luka can take a step up this season, or can KP, or does KP need to take up this step up this season? Is J Kidd going to make that much of a difference in the way that the Dallas Mavericks play for them to take that next leap? Me personally, I really like the Jason Kidd hire. I think he's actually going to be really well. I think he's going to bold out well for the Dallas Mavericks. I like him with Luka. I do like that in the way that they're both big point guards. Because if you remember, J Kidd was a 6'3", 6'4", slightly 6'5" type of point guard. But he was he definitely wasn't the scorer Luka was, but he was a way better distributor than Luka is, but Luka is no slouch when it comes to distributing. So I think what his expertise is going to be is really going to show him how to be effective without the ball. Because I think Luka only knows how to play one way with the ball in his hands. And I think when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he kind of looks like a fish out of water a little bit. And I think because he was so used to having the ball in his hands, it was just too easy for him. Like there was no game plan with him not having the ball. So it was pretty not necessarily easy to game plan for the Mavs, but you kind of knew what the game plan was going into slightly defeat the Mavs. So I think this year they're gonna force Luka to try to play without the ball, but their personnel doesn't really help them play with Luka off the ball because they really didn't really upgrade at that backup point guard position. But I do like if KP is healthy, Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be an improved season of him, and I do think the Mavs are going to be a better team this season, but I still think that they're just going to be middle of the pack for the West. Can they I could see them making it out the first round if everything goes well for them, but stuff has to go well for them. How y'all feeling about the Mavs?
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Mm-hmm. I think J Kidd helps take Luka to the next level. And what I mean by that is, as far as being an MVP candidate, a legit MVP candidate, I think he's gonna help him get to that level. And I think for this team, for them to go I think this team could go as far as Porzingis' ability to get back to his days in New York. He could take him as far as they can go if he could get back to that Porzingis status.
Reem, is Porzingis healthy enough to take the Mavs to the next level? Is because we know Luka's gonna be there. Is the rest of the team good enough around him for them to at least make the second round, or is it another first round and exit?
I think nothing was wrong with KP last year. I think it was coaching around him.
I think he was a little inefficient though.
No, he was pencil hold in a position of you're either gonna shoot jumpers and rebound. We know KP is more of an athlete.
Carlisle was the problem.
Yeah,
I got you.
And I kind of got a cheat sheet with the whole Jason Kidd interview with Steven or whatever the case is, and they said there was a beef between Luka and KP.
Yeah,
I'm
I heard
not
that there
buying
was like a
into that,
baby
though.
feud. I don't know.
I'm not buying that.
But J Kidd clarified. He said it wasn't really an issue with them. It was kind of everybody else around them, where KP wasn't being placed in the positions where he could be. Remember, KP, you just don't lose all your athleticism.
He was playing kind of soft last year too. He was doing a lot of post-ups, I noticed too, where that's not really his strength.
Exactly, but you play to a player's strength. And what Jason Kidd knows, the best way to get the best out of a player. So you slow it down for Luka more than he's already slowed
Jason
down.
Kidd played with Dirk, right? When he was
they won a
championship.
So maybe, hopefully, they can maybe remember some of those sets that he used to use
that
KP
together.
with.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
But what I must say is what makes the difference between the Mavs being a 5th, 6th seed and a 2-3 seed is the condition of Luka. It's my only problem. He has to lose that chubby boy band look, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think it fits him because he could body up those guards.
Imagine
Can't
Luka.
check him.
Imagine Luka faster with a little bit more mobility.
Well, we would love that, but I don't think that's gonna happen because we seen how he looked in the preseason. He still looks the same size.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
He
just the
look the
difference
same
of where
size
I
still.
have them slotted or where he could be slotted.
Yeah. Let's move over to the Golden State Warriors, right? So the Golden State Warriors, I got them as a 6th seed. Domo has the Golden State Warriors as the 4th seed. He got them looking real good this year. And Reem has the Warriors, I think it's a 6th seed as well. So that was me. So Domo, I'm gonna start with you. Why you got the Warriors so high? You really like? I know actually the media darlings are the Warriors right now. They want them to win so bad, which is okay because they got everybody coming back. I like their team. They got Iguodala coming back, Klay Thompson coming back. You like Wiseman. I know we talked about that in our group chat. I know you're a big Wiseman guy. Why do you think the Warriors are going to be in that upper echelon of the West?
Because they got the same nucleus from that championship, from the other championship
But that
contenders.
was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, but Steph Curry just is coming off a scoring champ.
Steph is that's not the question. Steph is not the question.
Listen,
the rest of them.
The key thing for me is if Klay comes back as Klay, It's a wrap.
That's a lot of
That's a top 4 team right there. Off rip. Because Wiggins he flourishes. He flourishes in that system.
Wiggins. Well, I don't know why he gets a lot.
And then you know what? Too. Why I think they're gonna be number 4 because I think Jordan Poole could hold down the fort until Klay comes back.
I really like.
And then even if Klay don't come back as Klay, Jordan Poole could pick up that slack easily.
Toscano too is low.
Toscano is cool too. They got Kuminga, the rookie.
Yeah,
he's out now, right?
This could be one of their better Golden State teams that they've had.
Do they play enough defense to be?
I see. Now that depends on Wiseman. That's why I'm looking at Wiseman.
9th seed. They did not make the playoffs last year.
That's why I'm looking at.
Their defense was atrocious,
and that's why I'm looking at Wiseman to make that next leap
that's a lot of ifs.
Being a better player.
You hoping?
But they still got enough offense to hold down the fort.
They do. I'm not
more
denying
than
that.
enough
Offense is not their problem. Offense is not those boys' problem. I'm not gonna. Steph is going to be phenomenal once again this year. So we'll see. The Blazers. I got them at 7. Domo has the Blazers not even making the playoffs. Reem got the Blazers in 7 as well. The Blazers. I think they're gonna rely on continuity this season. I think they're a little bit underrated this season, actually. Like I know Reem wasn't crazy about their lineup with putting Powell as a 3. You think they are a little small. I agree. I never liked the Powell.
Zeller?
They got Cody Zeller, Tony Snell. Hold on, they got Larry Nance. Larry Nance is their power forward. I'm not saying this.
It's kind of crickets for me over here. For the former Trailblazers.
I agree, but that's why I'm saying I feel like continuity is maybe the only thing that they can rely on, right? So if Dame Lillard is an MVP candidate, right? You guys have him as an MVP candidate, top 5? No,
because of record wise,
it's over.
You don't think he's he's obviously
an MVP
talent
player.
level.
He's an MVP talent.
Yes,
but you don't think he's gonna be because of team
record wise? No.
So you don't think he's good enough to make his team better?
What's about to go on in the East and the West?
Yeah.
Hold on. Answer my question. You don't think he's good enough to make his team better? I mean, if we look at my boy Chris Paul, right? His stats are not as good as Damian Lillard, but his teams are always better.
But you can't compare that because
why not? Why not?
Dame doesn't have the pieces.
Oh no! Don't set me off. Don't set me off. He doesn't have the pieces. The Blazers have had this same team for years, my brother. He knows everybody on that squad.
Let's do comparison.
In his defense, though,
running mates alone. You have CJ and you have Booker.
Yeah, but you said Damian Lillard is better than Chris Paul.
All right, no.
So he's the better player, right? So his team, he can get you 30, 35. But CP not getting you 30.
But they play different because Booker's going to get you that 30, 35.
Not all the time. He doesn't have to get 30 for the Suns to win. He gets you 20. He averaged 23 or 24 last year. He doesn't even average 25.
Is Ayton better than Nurk?
Of course, but that's because CP made him better.
Is Bridges?
Ayton was good already.
His
before
numbers
he
were
got
better
there.
than Ayton. He was good, but who was what?
Is Bridges? Is Bridges
before Chris Paul got there? Wasn't Ayton better than Nurkic? He was still taking.
He was looking at people were looking at DeAndre Ayton as a bust.
He wasn't even.
People were looking at DeAndre Ayton as a bust.
Nah, he wasn't a bust.
Who was looking at him as a bust?
A lot of people were considering him as he got drafted in the same draft as Luke. He got drafted before Luka and Trae Young.
Who was making that? Who was making that?
He wasn't a bust. He was
definitely not a bust.
The narrative, because Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton could not win games together. They were a perennial lottery team.
They only had 2 seasons together.
It doesn't matter. They were a lottery team.
I want to say
and
that's
look what the Hawks did. The first year, Trae Young was on the cusp of the playoffs, not really making it. The second year, they made the conference finals. Luka been in the playoffs every year. He got bumped in the first round, but he was in the playoffs. They were drafted after.
Let's go back. No players like that.
Let's go back for piece for piece.
The Mavericks didn't have any players either. Luka
they had a better team than the Suns.
But let's go back piece for piece, all right?
So you say
without Luka? Without Luka.
Chris Paul got there.
What?
Before Chris Paul, we talking about before Chris Paul got there, right? The teams that they had. Dallas was better on paper than Phoenix.
Not really. They had a better coach.
Who the hell did they have other than Booker and Ayton?
They have 2 cornerstones, right? They have Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis. You have Devin Booker. You have DeAndre Ayton. It doesn't matter what pieces you put around them. They should make those pieces better.
Tim Hardaway was better than anybody else in between.
He's not that much better than Mikal Bridges. He was still there.
At the time, yes, he was.
Yeah, at the time he was.
At the time,
Mikal Bridges just had a breakout season last year.
So what was it at the time? What was the difference? Chris Paul, right? Who made that team better?
I'm talking about before he got there.
Prior
All right, I'm saying it was the same player. It was the same player the year before to the year after. Who made the player better?
But
they got better.
But we're going down the line, right? So you were saying, who you were saying?
I'm saying it's the same talent, the same two pieces. Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. There's not a huge drop off between those two.
Yeah, now.
What do you mean now? Forever. Those two, there's not that much of a difference between those two. What you mean? Porzingis is nice.
Kristaps was better than DeAndre Ayton at the time, though.
So that means the Mavericks should be better, is what I'm saying.
Well, they were. Until Chris Paul got there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, right? So we're getting
Chris
there,
Paul
right?
makes it make sense. He's a perennial all-star.
Right. So because Kristaps Porzingis was better, right? DeAndre Ayton wasn't looked at as a player playing up to his potential because he was in the same draft class as Luka Doncic.
Okay, I'm gonna agree to disagree because I think that's a little bit unfair to DeAndre Ayton. I think that's unfair.
It's not fair. I'm saying that he was good, but he wasn't looked at as in the same echelon as a Trae Young, as in a Luka Doncic. But now he is.
Yeah, but that's
you
can't. Hold on. Because Trae Young and hold on, Trae Young and Luka Doncic, they got drafted to the team being known as that's gonna be their team.
Okay.
When Ayton got traded, that team already belonged to somebody.
Devin Booker.
Which
means he had less of a responsibility. So shouldn't you be better if you have less of a responsibility?
In the West?
He got hurt one of the years he not hurt, but he had the suspension to start the season. And then he came into the season, he had hurt with a little bit of an ankle, but he was never got into his normal footing being what they drafted him to be. They didn't draft him to be a piece. They drafted him to be a cornerstone, correct? And if you are the number one pick, are you a piece or a cornerstone?
Hey, listen, man. I hear what you're saying, Justin.
Hold on. If you're the number one pick, are you a piece or a cornerstone?
It depends, though. What you need, like.
Wait, who drafts a number one pick as just a piece? Only the Pistons did that with Darko Milicic.
Exactly, they did.
That's the only team that ever, because they had a championship team already. Suns ain't had no championship already.
What he's trying to say is,
they needed him.
Like, if you number one and the team is going to you, like, it's your team, is a different situation. But you had a budding star already there.
I'm saying that he was unfairly criticized because they drafted him to be the cornerstone, but he didn't live up to the cornerstone potential to them.
I disagree with that. I feel like DeAndre Ayton is coming along as he should.
Yeah. Well, now, because he's learning his role in the league. But his role in the league that he's becoming right now
was not... He's only been in the league, 4 years? This be his
maybe
fourth
less,
year,
maybe
right?
3.
This would be his fourth year?
Maybe 3 or 4.
He's still
but right
young.
now, he's still not playing the role that he was drafted for. He was drafted to be the cornerstone 2010 guy. Right?
I think he's
not a 2010 guy right now. But he's
a big man. So, big men, it take him a little longer to come, to full into that. Guy that you expect him to be.
Yeah, sure, but I'm just saying they drafted him to be the cornerstone. Same way they drafted Joel Embiid to be the cornerstone, Jokic, all those boys to be the cornerstone of their team. They drafted him to be the same way, is what I'm saying. And he's growing into that now after Luka, after Trae Young, is what I'm saying. So because of that, people were looking at him as a bust or not living up to his potential because
I would say those people are crazy.
They are crazy, but I'm just saying they're just
feel like he's coming along just well.
Yeah. So I'm saying DeAndre Ayton should play better up to his potential this season. So we'll see how the West shakes out. I think the Clippers, I think we all kind of got them rounding out the West. Some of the Reem, do you have them making the playoffs still?
Yeah, I got them at 8.
I got them at 7.
I just got them floating around. I don't know which PG's gonna show up and which Doc gonna show up. So I mean,
we'll see how those boys work because Kawhi is the key because they could have. They said he might. They say he should be by the
Kawhi is Kawhi.
I know he gonna come back when he feel like it. Let's be real. So we'll see. I think the Clippers, Grizzlies, probably maybe Pelicans might be fighting for that 8 seed. Pelicans on Wallin?
Nah, you bugging.
Yeah, no.
Nah, I'm a little disappointed.
If it's any team, I think the Timberwolves.
Too high.
No. Am I really though? Because after All-Star break, they was one of the top teams. They was one of the top teams after All-Star break last year. They was making some noise.
You're right.
And Anthony Edwards.
I like Anthony Edwards.
I like
He gonna be a problem.
I like Anthony Edwards.
He's Showtime.
And you got and you know what? And they got Patrick Beverly, which brings that mentality over there.
Can Cat be the one?
But that's why I say Patrick. I think Patrick Beverly being added to them will change that culture over there, which would be good.
Crazy.
I agree, but we'll see if Cat can actually.
I think they can at least fight for a buy-in spot.
I would love for them to fight for a buy-in spot because they got a nice team.
D'Angelo got that bread and he's just chilling.
It's gonna be a couple of teams fighting for that. I think the playoff game might be wild. I think both conferences actually playoff game gonna be wild. Actually, when you look at this, we'll see, man. Grizzlies, I think, are gonna be fighting for that AFC. You know, I'm a big John Morant guy.
I got them bonafide.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if they get the AC. Steven Adams coming over there. I like that pickup for them. I really think that's going to be good. Valanciunas was solid too, but Steven Adams I like also as well. Dylan Brooks playing well. Jaren Jackson, healthy season from him, hopefully. And that would be nice for the Grizzlies.
I like that Brooks kid too.
Yeah, Brooks, he could play, man. The Grizzlies, they going to be solid, man. You know, I like my son, Ja. I got him on my All-Star watch this year. I think he's going to be a first-time All-Star this year. I agree. I got him there. So I think he's going to try to bump into 20-8.
How be feeling about Utah number 3?
Oh shit! Did we even talk about the Jazz?
We didn't even talk about them.
I like the Jazz. I think I skipped over the Jazz. I like the Jazz. I think they're gonna be a top upper echelon team. I think people didn't give them a lot of credit last year for their run, but I think they're gonna be good this year. I like.
No key. They got.
I didn't give them no credit. I got them at 2.
They got Whiteside.
2. I got them at 3. They got Whiteside. Eric Pascal, and also
Rudy
my
Gay.
son Rudy Gay. Also,
they do got Rudy. They still got a healthy. Well,
Ingles.
Conley come back as himself.
Conley healthy.
Right there.
I like Clarkson.
And you know what too? I think
and Donovan.
I think D Mitch will be an MVP candidate.
I like that.
I like that too.
I like that. Listen, they were trying to hate on him last year because he should have been that MVP running last year. If they had the 1 seed, he should have been that MVP.
He missed a handful of games at the end.
He still should have been up in it.
But they were always at first seed too.
Yes. Yes. So I think the Jazz are still gonna make some noise this year, and I think they're a little hungry too because I don't like the way they. I don't think they like the way they were exited out of the playoffs with a couple of their pieces being hurt. So
still took care of the Blazers though.
Yeah. Before we round out the episode, fellas, one player or two players or whatever that we're keeping a close eye on this season. For me, I'm gonna start off here. I got a couple of players that I'm gonna keep a close eye on, so I'm gonna go through them quick. My number one eye is on Campbell Walker this season. I want to see how he plays with the New York Knicks, and I want to see if he himself can take the Knicks offense to a next level and low-key kind of erase his Boston stint, because I feel like that put a bad stigma low-key. People are looking at him as an injury-riddled player, which he was the past couple of seasons. But I think himself, I think he's the key to unlocking the New York Knicks season. I think if he can play to Campbell Walker potential, he's the guy that I'm looking to watch. I'm looking out for Lonzo in Chicago. I think he's going to be excellent for the Bulls. I think hopefully he does what LaMelo did for the Hornets last year. And I'm also, we had a little bit of a discussion about it recently earlier, but Deandre Ayton is one of my players that I'm really looking forward to this season. I think a lot of people have been hating on him, especially last year too. I think he outplayed Anthony Davis. He outplayed Ayton to me. He fell into a little bit of a roadblock with Giannis, but I think he's going to be hungry this season. He said he's the most wanted big man in the league coming into this season. So I'm looking out to him, and that if he could give the Suns 18-12 or 20-10, I'll take it. it'll be nice for him. So I'm looking out for Deandre Ayton.
2010.
2010 will be really nice because Chris Paul don't need to be scoring 16, 18. I need Chris at 12, 14, and it'll be better for the Suns. So
I like to see a lot more action between Chris Paul and Ayton, and just let Booker do him.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I would like that as well. So Damo, talk to me. Any players you keeping your close eye on this season?
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
I got two players. The number one player I'm looking at is Jaren Jackson Jr. That's the player I'm looking at. With the departure of Valanciunas, that leaves more room for him to work. And if healthy, I think this team can make the playoffs.
I think so. I mean, they made it last year.
I think him and John Morant they're the next 1-2 punch in the NBA. They could be.
I like Jaren Jackson, man. He could play, man. He could really unlock that team.
And the other guy I was looking at before I came over with Jaren Jackson was Anthony Edwards. I think this dude, because that second half of the season, he started balling. Yeah, crazy. He was putting up 40 every other night. Yeah,
he was not playing this.
So I think that if this dude, if he's for real, we could be talking about Timberwolves having a playoff berth.
I wouldn't be surprised at them. Remo, talk to me. Players you looking forward, keeping a close eye on this season?
I got a closer eye on Brandon Ingram. For him averaging low-key 24, 5 and 4. And not being
Did he make the All-Star team?
I don't think this year he did. But not being viewed as a franchise cornerstone.
Yeah.
You got Zion over there complaining about the way he was used in the offense, and Ingram just stayed quiet. I want to know if
we don't hear shit from Ingram.
Like he waits to see if that ship sinks, or he just finds himself a franchise that's gonna invest in him, because those are not walking around the street numbers.
Yeah, because
he's kind of like he was sharing ball time with the ball and Zion, but still producing at a high clip.
You know what he would be great at?
Philly.
Charlotte.
Philly.
Who, Ingram?
Yeah. Charlotte would be a great
I actually like that Philly pick, though.
Philly
can't really get him, though. They ain't really got nothing to send over there.
Not youth-wise, but somewhere where he's going to be effective and appreciated, I think would do wonders for his career, where he's getting that Luka treatment. Because he can play 1 to the 4.
Go to Orlando.
Nah. That's like a lateral movement for me.
That'll be something.
And somebody that I might be looking at is this Kevin Porter kid, Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh, yeah. That's a good look.
To the fact where you just watch him get released from Cleveland, which they don't know what the hell they doing over there. But this kid got released.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got signed by Houston and dropped a 50 ball.
Yeah.
And he looks really comfortable with the rock.
Kevin Porter Jr., he look good, man. He's nice.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't know if they're gonna hand
both of them is kind of nasty.
But I don't know if
you can't have the both of them on the same team.
There's no point guard on that team. Both of those two players are the Spider-Man meme together, looking at each other.
But that's a good analogy.
Same shit, man.
That's my problem.
They nice though. I ain't gonna front.
But are they going to give him the room to be that guy?
I don't see it.
Being that they're
he's got to get moved. He's got to get moved.
So, fellas, rounding out this episode, last thought to close us out. NBA Finals prediction. I'm going straight there. I'm going to start y'all fellas off. I don't know if y'all have y'all's ready, but I have mine. I'm going to have another episode on this prophecy, but I'm going to just say it now. Fuck it. My NBA Finals prediction.
Phoenix and who else?
I'm glad you know, though. The Phoenix Suns. This pains me to say.
What? Come on, man. We're going to have this. We're going to have this parade on Flatbush,
I hate to do this, but because people are fiending so much, I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go with the Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals, and not necessarily because
I like what you did there. I think you're slick. Took your two previous predictions and put them together and this
mush them together. The prophecy gonna come true one way or another. All right, I had the Phoenix. The Suns. The Heat 2 years before. Then I had the Suns last year. Both of them. It's gonna happen because I think them two teams reloaded. I think the Miami Heat are gonna fall into a little bit of luck this year for some reason. And I just like how their team is rounding up. And I think the Phoenix Suns are gonna come out the East against the Brooklyn Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think this is gonna be a tough-ass Eastern Conference Finals. I wouldn't mind if the Heat or the Nets get there. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't care. But my gut is telling me the Heat versus the Phoenix Suns in the finals. Domo, talk to me. Who's your NBA Finals prediction?
I'm going to go with the masses. I got the Nets and the Lakers.
Oh, my Lord.
I got the Nets and the Lakers.
Way to go out on a limb.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Nets and the Lakers.
I feel you. Remo, talk to me. Who's your Finals prediction?
We don't really get along too often, and we don't have the same in common, but I'm going to dap you up on that one. I'm going to go with that. And the only reason it is really hard it's been historically hard to go against a healthy LeBron.
Yeah.
That's one. And
What?
Healthy LeBron.
I don't think they're going to win it all.
Yeah.
I think they'll get there.
What does that mean? A healthy LeBron is not unbeatable. He's lost plenty of times before.
I'm talking about getting to the dance, not winning the whole thing. I didn't say I didn't predict the winner.
First round.
AD wasn't healthy. Like a healthy LeBron and a healthy team.
My God, we don't have time for that argument.
I help him out. If AD was to go down this year, I think LeBron could still get them to the finals. He didn't have that last year.
So if AD is hurt this year and they play against the Phoenix Suns, they could beat the Phoenix Suns?
Yo, listen, hold up.
Yeah.
He does not speak for me. I did not say that.
I think so.
I did not say that. But if you give LeBron a healthy team, he has a chance to be.
Because Westbrook got Chris Paul. Man.
How? When? How? When?
All them OKC years, he was beating Chris Paul.
He's never beat Chris Paul. That was that one year, and it had nothing to do with Russell Westbrook. That was because Kevin Durant.
And the Rockets too?
He's never played Chris Paul in the Rockets. They only beat him that one year, and that's because Chris Paul turned the ball over against Ibaka, and Kevin Durant was just Kevin Durant. We got Blake Griffin against Kevin Durant. Let's be real. Blake, who's a minimum player.
Blake.
He has nothing to do. He can't do anything with Kevin Durant.
Right.
But hey, y'all will be wrong again. We like it. Fellas, I love that y'all are here to join me for the season preview. I know we went crazy on the season preview. We got a whole lot of shit to talk about. Hopefully we can get Domo back here soon because we need to add on to this season preview because we had so much shit to talk about. Fellas, we in for a hell of a ride. I know everybody's going to be tuning into the season. Is this season going to be one of the most wildest this year or what y'all think?
Yeah, I think so.
You think it's a little bit more unpredictable than last season's or?
Could be too because we still got this COVID thing going on.
That's true. It could be a factor.
No.
I wouldn't be mad at a parade on Flatbush.
I just need that parade on Flatbush, man.
I won't be mad at that. I won't be mad at that. Remo, Domo,
jerk chicken on the junction.
That's what I'm talking about. Family, thank you for joining me each and every episode. Thank you for joining me for another season of Above the Rim. We got the 2021-2022 season popping off. Brand new guests, brand new season. Same old things, same old heat. Let's do it. This is Above the Rim, and we are.